Okay, so we can't start this episode without talking about Sunday morning, 2 a.m. for us on the West Coast here, the USA versus Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
we
are
can
you
just
feeling?
take a minute.
Yeah, let's...
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I didn't stay up to watch, but I did watch the game.
Okay.
But I
did stay up to watch, and I woke my parents up, so
oh
I just want you to know that I'm very committed to this.
well, I am committed to my job
I know.
first. But I woke up and I Googled like the score.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like 4 a.m. I don't even know what time it was, and I saw that we had 3 goals. Trinity Rodman scored, Ertz scored, and when I woke up and saw that Sweden beat us on PKs, I was very confused, and I think I dreamt about it. So it was a lot of emotions happening that morning.
How do you feel now? In the cool, clear light of day.
I was mostly just really heartbroken for the girls.
Yeah.
I know that they had I don't know why it felt like extra pressure this year to perform. I think more eyes were on them. You know, you had the OGs expecting them to take over and be successful, but it was a lot harder this year with 32 teams, a lot of pressure, and seeing all of their emotions after the PKs. It's a shitty way to lose. They had an amazing game.
They played so well.
Which even hurts worse. If they had
know.
a bad game, maybe they're like, okay, we really need to get our shit together for the future. But it was heartbreaking. How'd you feel?
Heartbroken. I watched it live. It was very exactly like you said, because I feel like they finally figured it out tactically. So it was exciting to watch them play so well, and to lose that way is so heartbreaking. But I also love this team so much, and I'm so proud of these women, because there is a lot of pressure, and I think that we as fans sometimes forget that winning a World Cup is very hard.
Yeah.
To win it 2 times in a row that the U.S. women have done is incredible. To ask for a 3rd time, I think almost as a fan is maybe we did put too much pressure on them. It's so hard. No men's or women's team has ever done that. To come out to this game and play the best that that they had to their full potential was exciting to see, in that I'm excited for what comes next.
Yeah.
This team is so full of talent. They're so young, they're hungry, they're motivated, they want to win. I don't care what anyone says about questioning their mentality. These women want to win, and I am just so excited and proud of them.
Yeah, I mean, if anything positive comes out from this experience, we're going to go back to the drawing boards, and we're going to use this experience to really elevate our play in the future. And I think that's something that we can look forward to. And people forget it's a World Cup knockout stages. You need a little luck on your side.
Yes.
Like Alyssa Nair trying to stop the last PK. And it was a little luck. You know, it was barely in.
Yeah. If
If there was no VAR, they would probably call it a save.
Yep.
It was heartbreaking, but maybe I'm a hippie and I get over my emotions faster, but I love all the emotions of the sport. I even love all the haters that have been into this. It's brought so many people together.
I know.
It really
The haters
has.
have brought us together.
It has.
Yes.
When we're even stronger because of the haters.
Yeah.
I mean, some comments were like, why do you hate America? I'm like, they're literally playing their hearts out for this freaking country.
I mean, I think that's why I'm so proud of this team, because I do think that they represent the best of the U.S. in that there's all this talk about how the U.S. women's national team the culture has changed, that they're not focused on winning, and that they're focused on other issues outside of soccer. But I'm that's what this team has always been.
Yeah.
From the 99ers, this team has been fighting for things beyond the playing field the entire time. And I love this team so much, especially Megan Rapinoe and Julie Ertz and Haran and all the vets that have come through, and all these younger players that are also kind of following in this legacy of trying to open doors and lift other people up outside of their team. That's why I love this team so much.
Yeah, it's bigger than soccer.
It's bigger than soccer. And so whoever says that they're not focused on winning. I'm like, yes, they are. And they're focused on like leaving the world a better place than they found it. I don't know.
That's what we're all here for, right?
Yes. As a player, how do you feel about penalty kicks to finish a game?
I hate them.
Have you taken them?
I have. I've taken one, and I scored against Kaylin Sheridan.
Okay, great.
But it didn't mean anything. I have an experience where in the Challenge Cup during COVID, in order to put us through, we had to take PKs. And I will never forget this moment where it was up to the fifth person, just like the U.S. last. Yeah. And my best friend Bailey Feist and I were like, "Do you want the fifth one?" And I was like, "You can go for it if you want." And at that moment, I was like, "Damn, I should have stepped up because I was going sixth or fifth."
Oh.
And she stepped up. She was so brave. She was young. She was a rookie this year. And missed.
Okay.
And I will never forget that moment of regret. And she's come back so much stronger from it. And I'm so proud and like how brave she was in that moment. Yeah. Which brings me to the point of Sophia Smith taking the fifth penalty kick. That's so much to put on a player, any player. But then she's a baby of this team who has so much potential in the future. And it was emotional watching her get up to that line. Like she could have been the hero of that moment, or, it would still go on. And when she missed, it was pretty gutting.
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was so heartbreaking. Because that, like, there's no way to replicate what it feels like to take a PK in the World Cup. I remember reading an interview in the previous team for 2015, like Jill Ellis would blast music during PKs and try to make it as loud as possible, just to try to even like help replicate the idea that you might not even hear yourself as you're going up there to like take this PK. And so I can imagine like she buries them in practice all the time, but you can't always like bank on that.
Yeah, and they're exhausted from the game.
Yeah.
From emotional exhaustion, everything. Their legs are shaking at this point. When I watched it over and I knew what happened, I still was shaking. And I was like, I couldn't even imagine walking up to that spot with all those eyes on me.
No.
Which takes a special person to do it. I don't know how I feel about last minute subs.
I personally can't stand them.
Yeah, like you have players that you haven't played all tournament that could have made a difference. And
Christy Mewis stepped up and crushed it, but that is like exceptional.
It's exceptional. And she, we should celebrate that moment.
Yes, that was incredibly, she hadn't touched the ball yet.
Yeah.
That was her first time being subbed in, her first World Cup.
And she buried it.
Top corner, too.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's intense. I wish she would have played more minutes, but she stepped up when she needed to. And then Rapinoe, she never misses PKs.
I think I read somewhere that she hadn't missed a PK for club or country since 2018.
That is insane.
Which is insane. And she's the one taking them for both of those teams consistently.
Yeah. And I think that's why she had her reaction of laughing. Because she was like, "Are you fucking serious? Yeah. I always make PKs."
I would have had that reaction. Yeah. I'd be like, this is a cruel prank.
Yeah. I felt so sick for her. So sorry for the team. And then we still had a chance after that.
I know.
And then Kelly O'Hara steps up. She comes up in big moments all the time, and she didn't take that great of a PK. It goes off the post.
But another player who had been subbed in late just to take a PK.
Yeah.
Strategically, and I don't get that.
Yeah, don't put those players in that position.
No, even if they could. I know it's like Christy Mewis was great in that position, but I do think it's unfair to throw someone in who hasn't. I mean, you see it in so many PKs across the history of soccer.
Yeah.
That it sometimes doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Putting someone in like right to sub in just to kick.
Yeah. Some national teams plan their penalty kickers.
Okay.
Actually, most probably.
Yeah.
And so they've probably planned all of this out on a World Cup stage. However, I think like there's some value in seeing who's played really well all tournament, like a Naomi Girma.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah, or like a Julie Ertz who's been on the world stage before. And even though they're defenders, we get a lot of like flack that we're not technical enough. But yeah, I think you look in that moment of who's had a really great tournament, and they deserve to be kind of the heroes.
Yeah, like Alyssa Nair stepped up and took our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Took a PK and then proceeded to save a PK right after that, which is so incredible.
She was stone cold, man. She was like, I'm gonna make this and save everyone I can.
Oh, what a way to go out.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking. There's no other ways to put it.
Yeah.
Like it's almost better to lose 4-0 in my opinion than on penalty kicks. It's awful.
But if there's anything to the history of this team, in 2011 against Japan, they lost in PKs as well.
Carly Lloyd
roofed one.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Absolutely missed one. And then came back in 2015, the team together,
And she had an amazing tournament.
game. I'm hoping that for like Sophia Smith or like these players that they bounce back from this, because I know they can. It's part of being a professional athlete, which is why I'm even so excited to see these players in the next cycle, because like they have that fire. They know that feeling now of how terrible it is to lose that way. Yeah. And I think, I don't want to speak for athletes, but like, do you feel like that is like such a motivator that it's like, I've had this feeling, I never want to have this feeling again?
Oh yeah. You remember that for like a lifetime. So in the middle of the game, when you have to focus on where you're placing your shot, everything changes.
Even though the U.S. women's national team is no longer in the World Cup, we're going to keep watching.
Yeah.
There's so much to root for.
Yeah, Spain, Japan.
Yeah.
Those teams are looking amazing. I can't
know.
wait to watch.
Oh my God, Japan is so fun to watch. You were right.
I know.
You were right. You were like the only one that I have talked to that was like, you guys, Japan.
Yeah, everyone was like Japan. Germany, England. England's been getting by the way.
I know.
They're getting by, but I'm still rooting for Japan to take it.
Yeah.
I'm biased, Junendo.
I mean, I'm a little biased too. I'm with you. So we're going to keep following. We're going to keep following all the stories. And also there's still a lot of more gays out there to root for, so.
Stay tuned.